Hello, everyone. My name is Jacqueline McGrath. I'm a national director with Epicure. I am so excited because it's December and we know we're going to be entertaining. We might be gaining a few extra pounds, a few extra inches, and come the new year, we're going to be looking for a way to maybe release some pounds and get onto the health program again. Now, I don't know if you're aware of this, but going to a gym is part of the equation, but 80% of the success of actually having a healthy lifestyle comes down to what you eat. And I want to inform you about our Epic Life collection. It's an amazing collection. You notice I did not say it's a diet, it's a lifestyle. And I'm going to show you today how amazing these meals not only look, but amazing how much they taste absolutely fabulous, and the quantity that you get to eat. So the first thing I'm going to do is share with you desserts first. Now there's a reason I'm doing desserts first, because it's really good. But at a cooking class when I do this, it takes 10 minutes for this to set up in the fridge. So I want to make sure that this is ready for us to show you how amazing it is. Now all of our Epicure products are 100% gluten-free. You're going to love that. And today we're going to do a little bit of an extra little take on this. We're going to make a Mexican hot chocolate. So what I'm doing here is I'm just opening up my package. I'm dumping it into my bowl. Make sure your bowl is large enough to accommodate 2 cups of milk. And we're just going to start stirring this. I like sort of starting as I'm making it so that I can get the lumps out really quickly. Not that there's a lot of lumps, but I'm going to talk to you about some of the cooking tools that I have as well. So this is our piano wire whisk, and you'll notice that it's got lots of loops, and that means it's a quality product. Now, when you're actually purchasing your whisks, you may have purchased something at a store before. So the couple things you're going to want to look at is how many loops of wire there is, because the more loops there are, the faster it incorporates your meals, making your food that much faster to make. And who wants to spend all that time in the kitchen? The other thing is, how are these loops connected to the handle? A lot of times they're just shoved up into the handle, and it's literally a breeding ground for bacteria, plus water gets in there and it can rust. So basically we're just going to mix this up for a couple minutes, and because I want to make it Mexican, I want to talk to you about 2 of the ingredients I'm going to add to it, which is our cinnamon. Now, very unlike cinnamon you buy in the store, if you smell this, and too bad we don't have smell-o-vision, this is such a sweet, amazing cinnamon. Now, the recipe is written right on the back of the package, so you actually learn how to make the Mexican pudding, and it just takes your chocolate pudding to the next level. It actually says use a half a teaspoon. Now this is our 4-in-1 spoon. It's one of our less expensive items in the catalog, and I actually recommend that you buy 2 of them. One for powders or dries, and the other one for liquids. So here we go. You're going to take half a teaspoon, and we're going to just drop it in there. Then the other thing is we need to have a little bit of a kick to it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to add a pinch. And this is our chipotle chili. Now, if you can smell it, it's got a real nice smoky blend, but it is spicy. So just grab a pinch of this and drop it in. And you're going to mix this up a little bit more just to incorporate it. And then we're going to stick it in the fridge and let it set up. Like I said, it takes about 10 minutes. So from start to finish, 13 minutes for dessert. That's my kind of dessert kind of making. So we'll just set that there and stick this in the fridge. All right. We will come back to that in a few minutes. I'm just going to remove this tray. All right, now, what would we possibly have for breakfast? Well, how about an amazing smoothie? Sound great? So what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna show you some of the products that we have. Now, this is our protein powder. It's a vanilla protein powder, and it has 20 grams of protein in it. Why do we want protein for breakfast? Well, it fills your tummy so that you aren't snacking. I know a lot of people think snacking is the way to go. Every time you snack, you're adding at least 100 additional calories every snack time, at least 100. And I really want you to think, who creates those snacks that they're encouraging you to eat? Would it be big business that's filling those snacks full of hidden salt, sugars, and fats? And do you really want that in your program? Imagine if you were to just cut out snacks alone, that's probably at least 200 or 300 additional calories removed out of your life. And what could that look like in the matter of 30, 60, or 90 days? So this is our protein powder, and when you purchase Epicure, you may want to consider having a cooking class. You're going to learn how to use the product, but more importantly, as a host, you can get great discounts. And in fact, by booking from a cooking class, we actually give you an additional $20 of free product to use as your choice. And this product might be one that you want to actually get it at a discount. Now, some of you may work full-time, and so your breakfast during the week is literally maybe a piece of bread and coffee. Probably not the healthiest suggestion. So here's an idea for you to save you a ton of time. Do some meal prepping on Sunday night. All we have is a bag here. I've roughly put half a cup of frozen or fresh berries in here. And what we're going to do is we're going to add a half a scoop of our protein powder. And what you can do is you can make a whole bunch of these in advance. Like, let's say 5 for sure, so you've got it for the whole week, or do a whole container full. And you would just seal this and throw it in the fridge. Now, what we're going to do today is we're actually going to show you how to make this. So in a blender, what you're going to do is you're going to just take this out of your freezer. You dump it into your blender. You can rewash the bags, so we're very health conscious. And we're going to add a half a banana. Now, this is our ceramic knife. If you've ever had a knife that's nice and sharp, chances are it's ceramic. It does come with a cover to protect the blade, okay? Very, very sharp. And for our breakfast, we're going to add a half a banana. Did you know that the best way to peel a banana is from the end? That's how apes do it, and they're pretty darn smart. So anyway, you're going to just cut this, and you can just peel it. And we're going to add it right into our blender. We're going to add some milk. These are our prep bowls. When you purchase these, you get 4 of them, and you'll notice they have lids on them. Really good for prepping, makes life really easy. You're going to see me use this probably at every station I'm making today. So we're going to just dump this in as well. And excuse the noise, but I'm just going to put a lid on this, and we're going to put it on the blender. And you're going to see how easy this is to make your breakfast. Okay, so we've got this done. Now, what you're going to do, like I said, it wasn't that quick. Could you not have a healthy breakfast on the run? Now, the reason that it's going to be so good for you is with that protein powder in there, it's going to sustain your appetite. Having protein makes you last from one meal to the next. And with our Epic Life collection, we're trying to cut out those extra calories with snacking. So this would be your breakfast on the run. Now, currently right now, we do have a promotion for our customers in the month of December. From the 15th to the 31st, we're going to give you an additional shaker cup that actually has a ball, a metal ball in there. So when it starts separating, you just give it a good shake. This is great for in the car, for your cup holders. And this is our breakfast on the go. Now, wouldn't that be a great breakfast full of healthy ideas and lots of nutrients and some fiber and of course some protein? So we'll just remove this now. let's talk about what we would do for our dinner. Now, what we do with our Epic Life program is we actually love saving our customers a ton of time because we want to cook once and eat twice. And I'm going to show you how to make chicken fajitas in 7 minutes. Well, with prep time, probably about 10 minutes flat. That being said, if you're a vegan or vegetarian, you can actually make this with black beans. Just make sure you rinse them, you know the routine. I'm doing chicken today, and what I actually have done, this is one chicken breast, but if you're serving a family of two, make 2 chicken breasts, cut it into slices. Again, I use our nice ceramic knife. It's really easy to cut it all up. We put this in our silicone steamer, and this steamer is good in both the microwave and in your conventional oven. So if you're not a microwave fan, not a big deal. This will go into an oven at 425 degrees. So I have my chicken in here. What we're going to do is we're going to add our fajita seasoning. And with this fajita seasoning, what we're going to do is we're going to just add it to here with our spoon. Give me a second. Here's our spoon. And the directions again are right in the jar. And we're going to add a full tablespoon. Now, if you're doing a family for 2, you're going to have at least 2 breasts, and you're going to put 2 tablespoons in there. So you'll notice the 4-in-1 spoon actually fits right into our spice jar. Did you notice that? It's got a tablespoon at this end, teaspoon at this end, half a teaspoon, and then there's a line halfway through. That's a 1/4 of a teaspoon. Like I said, get 2 of them. So that's our fajita seasoning. Our spices, again, 100% gluten-free. Very different from what you're buying in the grocery store right now, because a lot of times they put fillers in there like cornstarch, a bunch of preservatives. Make sure you check out our Never Ever list. You're going to be totally impressed. Now, the next thing we need to do with fajitas is we need to put some peppers in, and this is our mandolin. It's a 4-in-1 mandolin. Absolutely love it. Razor sharp. It actually has plates that come out. So we've got 4 plates in total. When you get them, they come in a package like this. And we have one that's a little bit finer, or 1.5 millimeters thick. We've got one with sharp little blades on it. So that will make nice diced. And then if you want fine diced for thin little julienne, we've got this one as well. And make sure when you store it in the container so those blades aren't getting bent. And also make sure when you store this that you leave one of the flat ones in here to protect this blade. It does come with a finger grip, so you're not, and it's like a plunger. You're not going to touch your fingers. And also look at those beautiful tags. Now, a lot of times when you buy products, they're just plastic. And do they ever hold on to what you're actually cutting? Probably not. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick my onion in here. And I want to maybe, I'm going to just show you how nice it is to dice my onion. So this is how you're going to put it in. It's like putting in a shoe. You put your toe in and just snap it down. And I'm going to take my onion and I'm just going to slice some onion right into my container. So can you see how it's just minced that right up? Now I do it that thin because I have a son who doesn't like a lot of onions. I will change the blade so you can see how nice it is to cut it into ribbons. So let's put this in. And we're also going to do our peppers. This mandolin, if you do stir fries, you are going to absolutely love it. So you can see how this is just slicing so easy. And the plunger is just pushing it down. So here we have our onion. Easy, easy, easy. So what about peppers? Well, we can cut our peppers as well. Super, super easy. And again, you get nice peppers. So we'll do that all the way through. And then I also want to show you, again, that ceramic knife, how easy that is to cut. So hopefully you can see. I'm going to have to move my package out here a little bit more. So our ceramic knife, This is our cutting board, by the way. Good on both sides, and it's got rubber grippers so it doesn't slide around your counter. So you may want to even just slice it with your ceramic knife. And if you, like I said, if you don't have a sharp knife, good grief, how are you cutting your tomatoes? Probably squishing them, right? So there we go, super easy. We're going to grab one of my favorite products that we have in the line, which is our grip and grabs. Love these. I mean, I'm height challenged. I struggle in my kitchen grabbing things out of the top of my cupboard. And the nice thing about this grip and grab is there's silicone all the way through with the metal rod in the inside so it stays very sturdy. But I actually use these to grab items because I can literally grab a jar, and because it's catching and gripping that jar, I can actually pull it down from the top shelf and get it down to where I need to use it. It's also great at buffets because if you've got the spoon and the fork, you actually have to find a spot to put your plate. So this is really nice to have in your salads and some other, you know, if you're doing fried chicken or anything that really requires grabbing. And because it's not plastic, it will actually withhold a lot of heat, up to 425 degrees. So I actually use it just for flipping things really quickly on my barbecue because it's quite long. That being said, if you've got big flames going on the barbecue, it will burn. So caution to you. So what I would do now is I would just put my, oh, I need some, hang on, lime. Almost forgot about this. This is our citrus press. It's called a 2-in-1. Why? Yellow for lemon. This is smaller, it's for lime. Now most people when they grab this, they drop it in like this because it sits so nicely. It's like a little bowl. However, the holes for dripping out the juice are at the bottom. And very different from a reamer that you might have, you know, where you sort of have that attachment and you're, you know, squeezing it out that way. You're gonna get way more for your money because when you're actually squeezing this, we're squeezing the inside right out, but you're actually releasing the juices from the outside. So you've heard of lemon and lime zest and the natural oil essence that comes from the outside. Well, you're actually getting that right in your product. So we'll just give this a little squeeze. And now we're gonna put it in the microwave, put a lid on it, and it's going to go in for about 7 minutes. Now every microwave's a little bit different, so you might just want to check. When it comes out, toss it, make sure all the chicken's cooked, okay? So I'm going to throw in the rest of my, oops, got to add that. Throw in the rest of that, and we'll give this a zip into the microwave. All right, so that is our main course. Now, like I said, you can do larger amounts. And in fact, we actually have a really large steamer. And I'm going to talk about this really quickly. You can actually do multiple chicken breasts. So you can do this and have this 2 or 3 times in the week. But what I use this for as well is we're going to make fajitas, and you can use flour or corn tortillas. Now I have corn because it's gluten-free as well. A lot of my customers are gluten-free. And sizing-wise for the Real Results or the Epic Life sizing, you get 2 of these. So what you might want to do is take them out of the package and put these in the steamer. There we go. Put these in the steamer and steam them up. Now, if there's only you, just steam a couple, but lay them out in the bottom of the steamer. And what you're going to do is put the lid on it. Now you'll notice it's got venting here and handles here. So how do you put that lid on properly? Well, if you put it on this way, the steam's going to get onto your hand, and that can be a owie. But it also doesn't fit very well. It's sort of lifting. If you turn it this way, so the vents are facing away from you or away from the handles, and you stick this in the microwave 10 to 15 seconds maximum. That'll just soften them up. So we'll get that done too. All right, so clean up my mess. And don't you just love how easy this is? So I'm just going to toss that aside. And let's talk about our condiments. fajitas wouldn't be fajitas if you didn't have some yummies to put on top of it. So some of the things that we're going to do is salsa. Now, you can cut up your own tomatoes if you want using our nice ceramic knife. However, you can just go to the store and buy diced tomatoes. Now, buy the ones that aren't flavored and check the ingredient list, because a lot of tomatoes out there have really high sodium in it. And of course, you have sodium in it, it's not that great for you. So in fact, we're only supposed to have between 1,800 and 2,000 milligrams of sodium daily. And Canadians, I know, have about 3,300. So we want to try to drop that down. No wonder we have hypertension. So look for unsalted tomatoes if you can find them, or cut up your own. Now, sometimes when you buy diced tomatoes, they're really large. So try a few different brands, find which one that you like, the size of it. And we're gonna make salsa so easy. This is called our poco picante salsa. And it's a medium blend, but the nice thing about it is the heat. The thing about this is the more you add, the hotter you can make it. So this will make a lot of salsa, but one family serving at a time. So it's gonna save you a lot of money at the grocery store, because if you're buying the package container, A, it's full of preservatives. And if you buy a large size, they usually say, they've done some tests, and they say once tomatoes are opened in the fridge, in about 4 or 5 days, it starts getting bacteria spores on it. You might not be able to visibly see it, but if you're wondering why you have an upset tummy, it could be because you've got that large quantity sitting in your fridge that's been in there too long. Just saying. So this is really nice. You open up your can of tomatoes, you'll grab your measuring spoon again, and the directions say to a cup of diced tomatoes, add 2 tablespoons of the salsa. Now, personally, I like hot, but I find my family finds it too hot. So I would recommend, it's easier to spice up than to spice down. And did you notice how this fits perfectly into our spice jar? Does your 4-in-1 spoon or your spoons fit in there? So you grab roughly a tablespoon and just sprinkle that on there. Of course, if we're going to have salsa, it says we need some lime on there. So we're going to grab our citrus press again, give it a little squirt of juice, and we're going to just stir this up. Now, some of you may want a more authentic salsa, because basically this is just tomatoes and or hot spices added. Some of you may want to have that nice crunch. And you may also want to add cilantro. So again, we'll grab our 4-in-1. And what you can do with this is we're going to grab that really fine, right? Our fine julienne one. And we're going to just put a little bit of onion right inside our salsa. Now, I love this because it does give it a nice crispy zip onto my tomatoes. So there you go. You may also want to put cilantro, and some people say cilantro tastes like, well, dish soap. It doesn't for me. I actually love it. So if you're not sure, a nice way to do it is just have a little bit on the side and people can add it to it. If you know that everyone's good with cilantro, you don't need a lot, but use again your ceramic knife, cut it really fine, and just drop it in. Makes it look really nice. And there you have our salsa for our event, our dinner. Next, we're going to do our guacamole. Now, avocados can be very expensive this time of year. How do you pick a good avocado? Well, just feel it. You'll feel a little bit of a play. The other thing you can do is look for an avocado that has a stem on it. And if it has a stem, see if it'll just pop off really easy, which this did. And look inside. If it's nice lime green, chances are it is not overripe and it'll be just perfect. So let's see how I did. Use it again, the nice knife. Twist it. Voila. So what I do for my guacamole is I actually score it when it's right in the shell. Of course, with this knife, it makes it super easy, and I'm just scoring it. So I don't have to even use a fork later. I'm just sort of mushing it up in here. And then I'm just going to take a spoon and scoop it out. So here we go. I'm going to give you a little hint here. Do the other side. How do you get rid of the seed? I'm sure you already know this, but just give it a good push in there. Twist it. Done. Now, some people want to keep the seed so they can actually drop it inside. There is a thought that if you keep the seed in with your avocado, it prevents it from turning brown. I don't know, might be a wise tale, urban myth, who knows. I will show you something that I've learned on how to keep my guacamole from turning brown. We're going to put limes in it with our citrus press again, but there is another idea. So we'll just give me a second. I'll finish both these. A little messy there. Grab the next one, do the same thing. Pop out that seed. Zip around it until this one's not as right as the other one was. Again, I'm just going to cut through really quickly. Like I said, if I do this now, it saves me from using my fork later. Now, some guacamole, if you want it to go a little bit further, you can put some sour cream in it, make it a little bit more creamy. I personally just like the avocado. I don't need the extra calories, and I like that great good fat that we put in it. And when we're doing our Epic Life meal, we're actually going to put a tablespoon. We're allowed 2 tablespoons, but 1 tablespoon per fajita. Okay, there we go. Scoop that all out. And now we're going to add our guacamole dip. This has got everything all packed in one jar. The directions say 3 tablespoons to 2 avocados. My avocados were quite small, so I mean the nice thing about this is you get to gauge yourself. So I'm just going to put 2 in there. And again, we're going to give it a nice little stir. I'm going to add some lime to prevent it from browning, and we're good to go. Okay, so again, I'm going to show you how this really just squeezed the guts right out of that lime. It's literally turned it inside out, so it's dried right out. It's done like dinner. Just stir this up and let it sit for a bit because, of course, this dry seasonings of the guacamole needs to get a little soft before we use it up. So just give this a good little stir. Now, I'm going to show you how I prevent my guacamole from turning brown. Yes, it's going to turn brown, but I have found a way that actually prevents it from turning brown too fast. So let me show you how quickly I did that. So what I normally do when I've made my guacamole is I actually put cellophane on here, press it down to get as much air as I can out of it. I do put the seed in there, but I also put water on top. You can see there's water on top because it's air that's reaching it that makes it turn brown. So you can see this, I made this last night and it's still really nicely green. So all you need to do is just remove your water, take off your cellophane, and there's your guacamole, right? Still really nice and green. Not much difference from the fresh that I just made. So let that be a tip for you. And last, to make this a good, rounded, balanced meal, we're going to make one more thing, right? Now you're saying, wow, that's a lot of food already. So what I've done here, in your good Mexican collection, we actually have a nacho cheese dip. There is a recipe on the back to make a dip, but it has cream cheese and cheddar. And that wouldn't be part of the program. Instead, I'm going to make a nice dip with this so we can serve it with some veg. So what I've done here is I've got some yogurt, plain yogurt. Again, I'm using these prep bowls. They're really nice. Why do I love them? They're actually measuring cups. They've actually got quarter, half, 3/4, and to the top is 1 cup. So I've got some plain yogurt, some mayo. Now, if some of you don't like mayo, you can actually use sour cream. So it's really up to you. And again, my 4-in-1 spoon. Can you see how resourceful these are? I'm going to add the directions again, so right on the jar, but for that creamy dip, I want to get lots of nice flavor. You're going to love it. And I'm just going to mix that up really quickly. And then I'm going to plate a meal so you can see how much you're going to get for dinner. And I'm going to get our dessert out here, and you're going to see how amazing this could be. So let's get a plate going here. So I'm going to grab my fajitas. Okay, so I've got some vegetables on here and my flour tortillas. We're going to grab make sure that you've washed your grip and grabs, because last time we used them, they were in, where did I even put them? Last time we used them in the meat, and I'm not seeing where you would put them. Give me a second. And now we need to use them to get our chicken out. And I am just struggling finding it, so whatever, we'll just grab a fork. So remember I said make sure you check and make sure that your chicken is cooked well. So just dig around and make sure that all the chicken is nicely cooked. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna put some chicken and veggies down on our tortillas. We're going to add our guacamole and our salsa. Get a spoon out for that. So we're going to add roughly a tablespoon of our guacamole. We're going to add some salsa with our cilantro. And I believe it's a 1/4 cup of salsa that we can use. I've got dip, and then, okay, so this is a epic life dinner. A lot of food for what you get, right? So now we finished our dinner, and that's a balanced plate. 2 of these with your chicken, some good fat with our guacamole, some salsa for flavor. We've got some vegetables and 1/2 cup of our dip. And now let's talk about our dessert. I said I'd come back to this. So what I would recommend you do, once it's chilled, and I'll just show you. Once it's chilled like this, you can literally take a spoon and scoop it into your prep bowls, right? So it's nice and thick. It's got a really great flavor. Put it into your prep bowls, and just to make it look really nice, because that's part of the fun of being on this program. It's real food that actually tastes amazing and looks really good. If you have any frozen berries, you might just want to put those on top. They've thawed out. And the other thing that you can do if you want to add some additional fiber, we do have things, this is called our Cocoa Crunch. It does add additional fiber, and you can just sprinkle a little bit of that on top. And voila, grab a spoon. That is your epic life meal. Mexican pudding. Holy moly. So much nicer than your regular pudding. So anyway, take care, everyone. I hope you love that. If you are not familiar with your Epic Life collection or the challenge that we've got coming up, please reach out and connect with me. You are going to love the fact that getting healthy actually involves real food that you can literally make in minutes, that tastes amazing, and it's family friendly and family approved. So take care, everyone. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back for another training really soon. Bye.